Today, I'm busting down the 5 myths that keep you broke as a real estate investor. Not only busting them down, but showing you how to fix them so you can have a better 2025 than you did 2024. So if you're a seasoned pro or a total beginner, this is the video for you to end your year. Have you ever wondered why some people crush it in real estate and some people barely get by, or they quit, or they lose all their money and they go BK, or whatever the reason is, they just are not around for very long and they don't seem to be making the kind of coin that you see online on the TV shows? Chances are you've been lied to by gurus and armchair experts online. Believing in these myths is going to cause you to never grow, to never delegate, to never scale, and to never do the kind of deals that you know implicitly you should be doing. I'm Cole Ruud-Johnson, and I've spent 10,000 hours buying, selling, negotiating properties, building teams, and growing a real estate business. I've also helped hundreds and hundreds of investors and agents build their dream real estate business. Stay with me until the end of this video or your business could be in serious trouble in 2025. I'll also share a bonus myth that no one is really talking about right now. It's one of the most costly mistakes that I see investors make. Dive into myth number 1 and why it's been sabotaging your success from the start. See, if you're like me, I came into the real estate business seeing checks online of $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 and going, man, that's what I want. But you quickly realize, even though people say you want a 7 and 8 figure business, you quickly realize, well, that sounds good on paper. Big revenue doesn't mean big profits and big success. A lot of times it just means a lot of overhead, a lot of complications, and a lot of sleepless nights. Look at this chart from Business Insider. 82 out of every 100 businesses that fail because of one thing, that's cash flow problems. And a lot of them make a lot of money, make a lot of top line revenue. But what's the point of doing $2 million in revenue if it takes you $1.9 million just to keep the lights on, right? There's a lot easier ways to make $100,000. That's not a business. That's a very stressful hamster wheel. And I do not want that for you. And if you're watching this video, the reality is 90+% of investors live on that hamster wheel. Instead, focus on profit. Profit is the number that matters. A $500,000 business with $300,000 in profit and a small team, in my opinion, is much better than $1 million business with $850,000 in overhead, a big office, and a bunch of team members that aren't really driving profit. Which one would you prefer? Well, after having both, and actually much bigger than that, I would recommend you finding the middle ground, somewhere where you have enough revenue to delegate, but also enough profit to keep you sane. It's what you take home after everything and everyone else gets paid that really matters. Every move you make in real estate should be doing one thing: increasing how many deals you do, as long as those deals are profitable, increasing your profit, and then building systems to make you more efficient and doing profitable deals. Everything else is a lie and a distraction. But even with all that profit, once you do make it, that still leads you to myth number 2, which is something I want to debunk right here. Let's say now you're super profitable. Congrats. You just closed that $100,000 deal. You just closed that record flip and you have some cash in the bank. Now, what you're led to believe is that the real estate investors that are really crushing it are the flashy ones, the ones in the Lamborghini, the ones flying private, the ones on TV, the ones all over Instagram. But what you make the mistake of thinking, and what a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, is it's not about what you make in your real estate business. It's about what you keep and keep long term to build wealth. Because as a real estate investor, your real goal is to build wealth and eventually work because you choose to, not because you have to. And I made that mistake early on where I was taking out as much money as I possibly could from my real estate business, and lifestyle inflation kills a lot of businesses. And your new BMW, your new Mercedes, if you haven't been in the game long enough and that's not being paid for by assets, but it's being paid for by business cash flow, you can put yourself in a bad spot where your lifestyle outpaces your business growth and you're sucking your business dry every single month and treating it like your personal ATM, your personal piggy bank, and you do not want to do that. Your business should 100% be richer than you. So if you're thinking about making that big purchase right now, hold off until you have a little more traction, a little more years under your belt, and a little more wealth built. I'll tell you the same thing that one of my business partners told me early on, which is once you turn the faucet on, it's very hard to turn it off. Delay the lifestyle upgrades, let your business thrive, and reduce as much risk as possible before you start pulling money out of the company. Because even with positive cash flow, your business can die if you treat it like your piggy bank. And 44 of small businesses that actually go under, go belly up, do so because they run out of cash, they run out of capital. Myth number 3 is real estate investors think their finances will sort out themselves. And this myth, a lot of people don't realize until it's too late, is that you think your finances are going to sort themselves out. And what do I mean by that? Well, I always say that real estate investors are the richest broke people that I know because they have no idea how to manage cash flow, how to build a budget, how to do their bookkeeping, how to do their taxes. Most people think that money is going to flow in forever and they're never going to have a period where they have to have reserves. Somewhere between 50 and 70% of businesses that fail because of cash flow management issues, and you have to learn how to manage your cash flow. I suggest you start by tracking numbers daily. You want to be tracking your revenue, expenses, profit. You need to have a QuickBooks Online account. You need to have a really good bookkeeper. You need to have a good P&L, profit and loss statement. You need to have a good CPA so you're maximizing your write-offs. You need to make sure you're not mixing your personal and business spending. And a great methodology to follow is the book Profit First for real estate investors. For real estate investors, it kind of flips on its head how most people think about business, where revenue minus expenses equals profit. Profit first is revenue minus profit equals expenses. And that's how you grow organically with a profit focus. But what does that look like? Well, an example that I teach of profit first is, let's say you make $100,000 in a month on real estate deals. Well, you'd have 40% of that go into operating expenses or OPEX account. You'd have 20% of that go into a profit account. You'd have 20% of that go into a owner's pay account, and 20% of that go into a taxes account. So you have $40,000 out of the 100 go into your OPEX account. That's used for marketing, for team members, for growth. You have 20% go into a taxes account. You have 20% go into a profit account, and 20% go into an owner's pay account. And then at the end of the quarter, whatever you don't need out of that profit savings account becomes owner's pay. So really your effective margin for that quarter becomes right around 40% of your total revenue, which is, in my opinion, what every real estate investor should shoot for, at least that number. Myth number 4 is that a partner is going to solve all your problems. A lot of us, we get into real estate and we're lonely. We were agents. We were working our W-2. We bring in a partner to fill the void. But one of the mistakes I see people make is they add a partner without realizing the long-term implication. And most partnerships don't last forever, and they can be messy. They can be brutal. It's like a marriage, right? And so I want you to make sure that, one, this is someone that's ethical, that you can trust, is transparent. But I also want you to make sure that 1 + 1 = 3. Because a lot of what we do is we're at $500,000 a year in revenue. We bring in a partner that doubles the business. Well, you didn't double your profit. You just added a marriage into your business that's complicated with another human that has emotions, that has different vision. It can get messy. So you want 1 + 1 = 3. You want exponential growth from a partnership. So if you do bring in a partner, you want it to go, your business to triple, not double. Because if your business is just doubling, you're not getting a lot more out of it, but you're adding a lot of complexity. So your business should triple or quadruple. And you should truly believe this partner is going to amplify your business to the tune of 3x if you're going to engage in a business partnership. You want to look for intelligence, energy, and integrity. If you don't have the third one, integrity, intelligence and energy don't matter. And I think intelligent and energetic people who are ambitious with no integrity are some of the most dangerous people to have around you. The biggest myth isn't about who you work with if you do choose a partner. It's about what you do even once you have one. As you grow your business, you're going to naturally feel like you have to do it all. You're going to feel like you need multiple marketing channels, multiple extra strategy, multiple people on your team for every single role. That's the fastest way to fail. See, any work done on anything but the one constraint that you actually have is a distraction. What you really need to do is, per $1 million per year you want to do in revenue, is you need one marketing channel, one asset class, one exit strategy, and one geographic location. So let's say you're already doing $300,000 a month wholesaling, single family houses in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Well, you don't need to add flipping and development to get to $1 million. Per $1 million, and really 2, 3, 4, $5 million, you only need one of each. And focus kills so many investors. So many investors fail not because they're not educated enough, not because they're not smart enough, not because they're lazy, but simply because of the fact that there's too many ways to succeed, and they jump ship from one thing to the other, and eventually they just never get traction. Eventually they burn out and quit. So this myth is a big one, and it ruins more real estate investors than I can possibly tell you and explain to you in a video. But I mean, not just beginners, also experienced people, where they try to change what they do month after month, year after year, and they never spend enough time on one thing to really get traction, really understand it, really build profitability, really build a team, and build their skill set as an entrepreneur. And the myth number 6 is that you can do it all by yourself, right? If you guys are out there crushing deals, flips, development, wholesale, you probably feel like no one can do it better than you. No one can drive your job sites better than you. No one can manage your contractors better than you. No one can call sellers better than you. No one can put deals together better than you. And that might be true. What you guys have to remember is someone doing what you're doing at 100% one day a week, but they do it at 70% of your scale, but they do it every single day. They're not only going to eventually get better than you, they're going to buy your time back and make you a lot of money. And so you want to follow the real estate delegation ladder in 2025, which is one admin. Hire an admin assistant, you guys. So many of you guys are doing $5, $6, $7 an hour tasks. If you want to build a $1 million company, you can't do $5 an hour tasks. An admin assistant can be hired from Upwork, can be hired from Fiverr, onlinejobs.ph. There's a million places to hire an overseas assistant for $5, $6, $7 an hour that can handle handle your CRM maintenance, your bookkeeping, or they can help with your bookkeeping. They can help with your data, your skip tracing, your mailing, your mailers, some cold calling. They can do a lot for you. The second thing is a fulfillment. And if you're doing a lot of deals, having a boots on the ground team to help you with photos and walkthroughs, especially if you're doing deals virtually, having a transaction coordinator, part-time or full-time, to help you with paperwork, to help you with title issues, to help you with tenant issues, and get your brain focused on the things that make you money, which is leads and sales. The next thing is your marketing, right? Having marketing companies that you pay to do lead generation for you. The fourth thing is sales, right? In a real estate business, that's someone to do lead triage, a lead manager to work your pipeline. You need a salesperson, an account executive, an acquisition manager, some people call them. And then you need, if you're doing wholesaling, a disposition person to sell your deals. And then leadership roles, right? An operations manager, eventually, if you're big enough, a COO or integrator. And eventually you'll have leaders of each department that are responsible for the outputs your business needs. So start building your team in 2025. And just remember, you guys, that it's a muscle you have to build. You can read all the books, listen to the podcast, watch me on YouTube, but delegation, hiring, and team building is something you have to do time and time again. You have to fire, rehire, and do that 100 times before you really understand how to build a team the right way. This is just a start, you guys. And if you're still watching this video, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe down below if you've made it this far. But real estate isn't about knowing what to do and what not to do. It's about consistently taking the actions that build momentum. And if you want to know the answers to how you scale beyond a few deals, how you build a team, how you build a real business, how you get off the hamster wheel, and how you go from hustler to operator to architect in your real estate business, feel free to check out the community below, where you'll also learn how to go from 0 deals a month to 15 deals a month. You'll have every tool, resource, SOP you need, and a network of hundreds of investors. No problem will be left unsolved, no stone unturned. Remember, as you leave this video, you're always one deal away.